topic that comes up really often is how to turn groove or rhythm into melody and into a composition, or to improvise around a groove or melody. And there are so many ways that we can do this, and I can't explore them all in one video, but what I thought would be cool is to actually just do it myself in real time and kind of let you in on the process. So that's what I'm going to do in this video, and maybe I'll do it again another time, depending on how it goes. So the plan is to randomly generate a groove through using a random number generator on Google, which I've done in a previous video. So if you want to check out how you can do that and use that as inspiration, check out the video in the card above or in the description below. And then from there, I'm going to find a melody and show you how I do it. So let's go for it. Okay, so I've got a very, very simple groove. I just generated the dings and one tack, and I liked the sound of it straight away. And then I just filled in the gaps with ghost notes. So we've got to count to 8, but I'm going to count it 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and instead. So it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So that's the groove I've generated, and as you can see, I'm playing it all hand to hand, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. I could play it in a different way. I could just choose not to use any ghost notes, keep my right hand on the ding and use my left for the tack. Improvising around with it a little bit. But that's the main idea of the groove. So how can we find a melody out of that? I don't know. How can we find a melody out of that? The first option is to replace all the ghost notes with notes. So I'm just going to randomly dance around. I moved away completely from the rhythm and just played around and then returned to it. Something that appears quite often in songwriting, and I've talked about it already, is that if you've got like a block of 4, and I think about these things in like squares, so you've got your first line, second line, third line, and then the fourth block, you can veer away and do something very different, and that kind of closes it off, and then you move to your next square. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's how my brain works, kind of in shapes. So that was that. I like that. That was kind of cool, quite meditative, quite easy. Moving into some chordal ideas. And you can hear as well that as I play those melodies, I'm moving where they happen, but I'm actually repeating the same shape. So again, working in shapes, I'm kind of making a little triangle here across the pan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then on the second line, I do exactly the same thing, but I move this triangle up here. And then repeat the first one. And then change the final line completely. So there's one idea. I kind of like that, it's kind of cool, but it just seems a little bit obvious to me at the minute. I feel like I could do something more interesting. Maybe I could replace the ding with something else. I could create a bass line, for instance. So if I'm keeping to this right, left pattern, that feels a little bit awkward. So naturally, I'm going to start creating some slightly, some more interesting bass lines. So. once I've got that bass line, then I can start filling in some of those ghost notes with melody. Then we're moving completely away from, but you can still feel the essence of it because I've kept that tack where it is. And I've kept the dings where they are, kind of, but instead of playing ding, I'm playing a bass line. So the general feel of the groove is still there. I've just shifted how it's being played. So let's see if I can achieve that. It's just difficult doing it in real time and trying to play it well. What was the melody I had? I went back to the ding. Okay, so yeah, okay. Whew. So now what I'm gonna do is play the bass line instead of the ding groove, and then the melody that I came up with earlier, I'm gonna put that where the ghost notes are. So hopefully the two things will come together, the two ideas will come together now. Let's see if I can do it. But I want to shift the melody, right? Difficult though. And then I'm going to do something different for the fourth line, okay? Back to the ding because that's my like default thing. When I write a groove or come up with a groove, it's always on the ding. The ding is the root note usually on the scale, so it's just easy to come back to that for the drone. But I'm trying to, you know, push my boundaries a little bit and challenge myself and move away from that. So you can see that I keep messing up and going back to that ding. That's not what I want. I want this one. I want the bass line. I want the A. Okay, last time, and then I'll end it here. So I can't quite play it yet, but you can see there the process, right, of how I went from to a melody. First, I replaced not all of the ghost notes because I started with the first half and I liked where that went. And it's very simple melody. I was literally just moving down the scale, but in specific sections. So I worked in triangles, right? Oh, sorry. In the end, I didn't keep that part, but that was part of that process. Then I decided that sticking with the ding was too easy, so I started moving around my bottom three notes to create a bass line. to combine the two. Changing that fourth line. And I finally played it correctly. It's sloppy, it's silly, and still figuring out and experimenting, but that is the basics of how you can go from very simple groove into some kind of cool, that in that case quite mysterious, ominous melody. And to further that into a composition, I would probably then find something completely different, veer away from that groove to create some kind of middle eight, bridge section, chorus, whatever you want to call it, and maybe start, I don't know, working with chords or something. So for instance, maybe not that. Yeah, ooh, I quite like that. Try that again. So I've started introducing chords, it's kind of building it up, but then coming back to the groove so that it's tying it together, it's not completely diverting, and then that will lead into something else. Coming back to that melody. And so forth. Yeah, was supposed to be a video on how to create melody from groove, but we ended up starting a whole composition. So you can see how you can go from one simple idea to building it all the way up, just using these very simple building blocks to create something really quite beautiful. So I hope that was interesting and useful for you. If you'd like to see more examples of this with more random grooves, please let me know, because this was actually quite fun. I enjoyed that, and I might keep that. That might go into a composition. But yeah, I hope you're having a wonderful week, and have fun creating. I look forward to hearing from you how this process goes, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.